Zoom, 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 make my heart go. My supernova girl. Welcome back to Everyday's Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Everyday's Movie Ever. Today I'm going to talk about Zenon Z3. I'm about to butcher some names, so I'm really sorry. Zenon Z3 is a 2004 Disney Channel original movie. It's directed by Steve Rash. Cinematography by David Aenmey? Aenmey? Editing by Terry Stokes. Music by Kurt Kasulke? And it's written by Stu Krieger. The film stars Kirsten Storms as Zenon, Lauren Maltby as Margie, Phumi Mthembu as Cassie, Alyson Morgan as Dasha, and Ben Easter as Sage. There was great movement in this, reminiscent of the first one. For some reason, every time I think of movement for these movies, I am taken right back to the first one, that 360 shot of them when everything on the ship is shutting down. So good. This one had great movement as well, and I'll touch on the effects later. I have very random writing things like Bronley's answer when she said she had a dream last night. Did you have a weird dream? And he says, I don't waste time dreaming, or whatever the frick he said. So weird. I didn't like that. And then I will always and forever think this is one of the only little trilogy franchises that truly came up with lingo that the kids use that is believable. So, they're always trying, when I was growing up, we had swag and fire and I don't know, we had YOLO and we had all, the weird sayings that come into being popular, or weird trends or weird words or whatever. And a little bit more recent, you've had bet and no cap and stuff like that becomes slang and verbiage we use that we all start to lose, or it changes constantly. I think these movies truly capture something that not only is believable that they speak like that, but is in line with things they would say, so viral, or some really inky stuff is going on, or it's gonna have a macro freak out, or a micro, or, they didn't really use Zetus Lapidus anymore, but Zetus Lapidus, and just all the things they use when talking about stuff is just so believable, and I think it's one of their crowning achievements as the writers of this series. But writing-wise, what I would have loved to have seen in this movie a little bit more, I really wish they dug into it, was very briefly in one scene, Zenon mentions, do you understand what people expect from me? They expect me to win. That wasn't really, brought up or shown earlier until that moment, and I went, ooh, that would have been an interesting plot for this movie, or an interesting addition to the plot of this movie. So yeah, they're on the moon, and the moon goddess is, frickin' peeved that they're on the moon, and that's, the main outer conflict or whatever, but an incredible inner conflict to see Zenon grow past, because we've seen Zenon grow a lot. She's very mature in this one. She's a role model to Dasha, which is really great. But what would have been awesome was to see her overcompensate to the point of they expect me to win. They expect me to be the best. They expect this from me. I can't give up. I can't do this or that because I need to win, because it's what they expect. And her feeling that pressure and that anxiety. Oh, that would have been such a great story. They didn't really do that at all. They said that in that scene and I was like, ooh! And then they didn't touch on it. And I was like, okay, sad. Bummer. dcom. Raven being back felt like a weird dream. She looked nothing like herself when she was in the first one, because so many years have gone by, so she went through puberty and is, grown up now, kinda. I think she's still a teenager, but she's, she went through puberty pretty much, or is at the tail end of the growing part, and so it was weird to see her randomly call in as Nebula, because it was just so different than when she was Nebula in the first one. And then, the biggest crime this movie committed was recasting Protozoa. I was so offended. The guy did a good job. He did fine. But he's not Protozoa. I was so upset. He, like, showed up, and I was like, who is this imposter? You are not my Protozoa. Go away. Like, absolutely not. I felt betrayed. For some reason, the effects in this one feel way worse than the first two. And I think that that's like really large in part due to the fact that maybe for this one they were a little overly ambitious effects-wise, visually effects speaking. Because I feel like maybe in the first two they went a little bit more practical and then just added the visual effects where they needed them, where in this one they were like, no, green screen's a thing, this is a thing, let's go full tilt into them. Every green screen moment is like so bad. Everyone's got like a fuzzy rim to them, like it's just not good. And then the effects of the ships look so fake. It like, they just went supremely overly ambitious and went too far with it, which didn't translate for me. I didn't think they were very good and it kept taking me out of it. The love triangle setup was stupid, but then it wasn't a love triangle, and then the love story in general was so unnecessary to this plot. I get it, that it's like, you know, Zenon, and she's a teenager, and she wants the boyfriend, or whatever else, but it just was so unnecessary to the plot of this movie, where, like, her love interest with Greg, I think is his name, in the other ones, was good, or whoever. I think she had a different boy every movie. I don't remember. I don't know. But it just, that left me lacking. And then, I had no memory of this. I could have sworn I had seen Zenon Z3. Zero memory of any of it. The only things I knew were the music. So I think maybe I had the songs on some Disney CD and knew the music because of that, but otherwise I had nothing stirred up any memory, zero memory of this, so I had never seen it. Which I didn't know. I could have sworn I'd seen this, but I hadn't, and it was fine. It was not my favorite. I think the first one's my favorite. The first one is so good. And I think probably just decreasing order after that, first, second, third. And it's not bad, but could have been better, especially if they went that route. Oh, the Quince comment. So the Quince comment kind of applies to this. A Quince comment in the next video will fully apply, but she goes through so much in that movie, the main character in Quince, that she, like, puts on herself and then, like, feels from her family and stuff like that. That I feel like they could have really explored that in this and gotten that emotion, and it would have been so good. That's everything I have for Zenon Z3. My final rating is 6 moon goddesses out of 10. Our total movie count is. Parent Death and Crack Count are still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You'll find out what movie I'm watching when. I put out videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon. I have a tier starting at just $1 where you get every video a week early and you get a coupon code for merch. And the tiers above that get lots of fun bonuses, so go check it out. Buy merch. I'm not wearing merch currently. I am wearing a homemade tie-dyed Mickey shirt because I accidentally bleached it once, so then I just decided to bleach tie-dye it, and it worked out. But go buy merch because merch is awesome. Until next time, comment, subscribe, and I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so you do, and don't be the freaking weird moon guy about it. Take me away!